Clutching is going to be one of the most stressful things that are going to happen to you when you're playing a siege, and it's probably one of the challenges you're going to face when it comes to determining like who is the better player or the better team. So I'm not going to be wasting your time, so let's just get into the video. So one of the most basic tips that you probably hear when you're watching videos like this is like staying calm. And it is true that you need to be calm and collected to win the round, because if you panic out, then you're probably gonna lose. But I would rather say stop going into autopilot mode. What I mean by that is I see way too many people just starting to take gunfights that are in no way winnable if you just swing all the time. It is actually more about being calm in the sense where you're holding the angle and playing off information that you're gaining. So if it's info or where they're trolling from, or what gadget from your team went off, like a proximity mine, a lesion mine, a banshee, for example, those kinds of things. And based on that information that you gain, based on your experience, you will take the gunfight in a specific way. The next thing is not gonna be about you clutching, but rather your teammates clutching, since I think there is more mistakes being done when you're holding cameras. Hopefully you're holding cameras, because you should if you're a good teammate. And it's when you're giving info, since a lot of people, ever since pings have been added to the game, just go on the camera, they ping like, hey, he's on ping 3, for example, and that's all the information that your teammate is gonna get. And I would rather say to stop pinging the enemy rather and ping the gadgets, because it is additional visual clutter for the player. Since naturally you will gravitate towards something that is red or yellow, like you'll notice at first, instead of the enemy actually holding the angle on you. And rather than pinging the enemy, what you should do is just give a specific call out. And a specific call out is, for example, Ash speaking from breach door and she's standing. So what you take from that is where she is, what door she is holding, and what stance she is in. So standing, crouching, or prone. And I think that this is like a much better call out than she's a ping 3 standing. Since like then in the end you also have to figure out where the ping is, you have to look around, you might get swung by the other guy compared to if you just give the proper call out. And the next thing is going to be more of a beginner mistake, and that is staying in the same spot for too long. As we know, in ranked right now there is a lot of people with like over 100 ping and more, and it's very annoying if a person like that swings you, because you will die even if you're holding an angle behind the wall sometimes. And I'm not just gonna say that, yeah, you shouldn't stay still, you should like move around. Like, no. The time when you should reposition most of the time is going to be when you get the first kill or like the first 2 kills, and you need to take a better position. Since the call out to the enemy probably went through that you're holding them from a specific area, but if you're pinched, just have to do your best. But if you're not pinched, you have the advantage, since as you get the first pick, you need to at least change your stance again. So you have to go from crouching to standing and like holding a different angle, or just like going from the side to like a hallway, since most of the time the attackers will pressure you from a hallway. But if you're trying to win as a attacker, you can kind of follow the same principle that I just talked about. And the last thing that I kind of want to talk about is you need to basically read the enemy to the extent where you can capitalize on their mistakes. So usually the reason why 1v5s or like 1v3s are thrown is because of over-aggression. And at the same time, that is very easy to capitalize on, since if they give you like easy gunfights, so they're not really like holding you, but they're like going in one room at a time, like one person into one room at a time, it's going to be much easier for you to win those gunfights, since as you get a kill, you can reposition, you like. And an additional tip is paying attention to sound. Like, way too many people do not pay attention to audio cues. So as a defender, you can play around those a little bit more, since there is more going on, like a flashbang being thrown or a claymore being set down. Like, that's a big one, since as a attacker puts on a claymore, you should be able to get like a very good audio cue where that was placed, or if they're, you know, breaching something again, or setting up air jabs, like just any kind of utility that they are using is going to give you an audio cue. And then different sounds that the player model makes as they are crouching, or if they go prone, if they're injured. Basically get used to those sounds and like learn what they mean, and you will gain the majority of information just from hearing. So with that being said, I want to thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you found it helpful. If you did, do leave a like, subscribe, it does mean a lot to me, and thank you for the support you guys have been showing me. But if you want to, you can also follow my socials in the description below, or they're going to be in pinned comment. And as always, good luck in the game.